Hello wonderful witches and Wiccans out there in the wonderful world of witchcraft. Today I'm going to be talking about my pagan journey and talking about my transition from Christianity into paganism. So I was a Christian, I was brought up a Christian, I went to a Catholic school, and I was even an altar server at a church. So I was very much a Christian. I was head of the Christian Union at university. I was very much a Christian. I was very much embedded within the church. I used to go to church at university. I was very much a Christian. But at the same time, I was very, very drawn to spirituality, very interested in ghosts and spirits. I don't really like calling them ghosts, I prefer to call them spirits. Yes, spirits or astral beings. So it's very much, I used to watch Most Haunted, so I used to really love watching that. As a child, used to love doing that and watching that. I've seen ghosts as a child. I've seen three ghosts, full manifestations. So I've always had like a spiritual kind of connection. What are you up to? Go up there. Yeah. So I've already had a very, very spiritual connection. Even though I was very Christian, I had a very spiritual journey. And I used to have a really strong interest in Egyptology. I used to be really interested in Egypt. And I remember finding myself one time actually praying to the sun god Ra. So that was a little thing as a child, having that little hint of what is to come. But what changed me from Christianity to paganism? Well, you know, it's like you go to Sunday school, you learn these stories, and I think it's a very bad way of teaching the Bible stories by putting them in children's books, because you grow up thinking that they're books. You don't grow up thinking they're real. And so to me, the characters in these books are like stories. They're like fictional characters, so I didn't really have that very much connection with it, and I did feel drawn by the spirituality of it. I'm very much awakened, so I'm very much conscious of my soul and the being inside me, very much soul conscious. And so, yeah, I do have these like spiritual movements by things. But I went through a very hard time in my life, which finally swayed me. Very, very hard time in my life. And I kept praying. I pray every single day. I was praying, grant me happiness. Grant me happiness. Grant me happiness. And it never happened. And I felt, you're useless. What's the point of you if you're not going to answer or even help me or anything? And I just turned against it, mainly because something very bad happened in my life. My partner, soulmate, left me. And so that was a very, very hurtful time in my life, and I felt like my life had crumbled. I went from up here to right down deep in the dumps. I went into the darkest pit of darkness. You know, that depression where you just fall into the dark pit, the abyss. You fall into the abyss and you just can't get out. You just can't get out. I fell that deep into the horrible, nasty abyss, and I thought, nothing's helping me here. And then I watched a video on YouTube about being a witch, and that kind of sparked my interest, because I've always had that strong attraction to magic, very, very strong attraction to magic. I always wanted to be a magician. I always loved fantasy programs, and I love all that kind of magic and mythical creatures and all that sort of thing. I've always had that interest there. So that I love magic and things like that. So I've always had that attraction there. Yes, I've always had that attraction. But yeah, that horrible moment in my life just made things so worse. And I thought to myself, how am I going to get out of this dark pit? And so I started watching videos about crystals. And so I started buying lots of crystals and working with crystal energy. And then from crystal energy, I turned into candle magic, and then I went into full magic. And then from that time onwards, I then found out about paganism and about the god and the goddess. And I called out to the goddess and said, "Goddess, please, goddess, mother of earth, please help me." And she answered. She answered. And I just felt a huge happiness inside me. And from this moment, developing my spirituality and developing within my soul, I then, because I've always been on this journey, this spiritual journey, I've always been drawn to the spirituality, like meditation, spirit guides, and I connected with my spirit guide when I went through, when I was a child, kind of going in between, so I connected with my spirit guide, and then visited her now and again, and now that I'm fully awake and kind of now here in this time, I'm in constant communication with my spirit guide. She's always there with me. She always talks to me. She always gives me guidance. It's fantastic. If you're out there, get in touch with your spirit guide, because it is the most amazing thing. But they're there to talk to you. They give you pep talks every single day, like saying you had this negative thought. That energy doesn't serve you, Toby. That energy doesn't serve you. So push it out of the way. You know, kind of that really like a life coach there, right in your ear. Like you don't actually physically hear them. It's like a mental thought in your mind. Like if you talk to yourself in your mind, it's like that. It's not a physical audio thing. Maybe it's because I'm maybe clairaudient, or whatever that's what it is. Clairaudient. Yeah. So it might be that kind of thing. I'm not really hearing it, I'm hearing it in my mind. And so much with psychics, it's more like in the mind's eye you see stuff. You don't actually physically see with your eyes. Sometimes you might see a spirit with your physical eyes, like I have. But yeah, that is my journey. And now I'm a very must have been about, this is my third Yule, so about 2 and a bit years. I've been a pagan for about a full-fledged pagan going through the wheel of the year. For 2 years now. This is my second year, my third Yule, because I started with Yule, and so this is absolutely fantastic. I'm happy. I have developed myself so much in spirituality, and to me, I don't like Christian things anymore. Like you might have noticed in my videos that I'm very anti kind of Christian. It's because to me, I've kind of seen the light. That I kind of feel like the old ways are the right ways, because the old ways came before Christianity, and the old ways, I feel more drawn to them and their ideology rather than the Christian God. I don't feel that connection with that anymore. I feel very much drawn to the pagan ways, and that's my journey. And I'm still developing, I'm still going forward. That's my journey. And the pagan ways are not judgmental at all. Like you can be gay, you can be trans, you can be whatever, straight. And you go on this fantastic journey, and it doesn't matter who you are. Like there's no rules. It's very open and kind of, and you've got so many possibilities. You can talk to spirits, you can talk to gods, you can talk to anything you want to do. Connect with the fae, connect with anything you want to connect with, and it's absolutely beautiful energy. I just love it. So that's my pagan ways, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.